It's yeah boy with another video for tonight. As you can see, I already have set up the deck that I'll be doing a deck profile deck list video. It's been past 3 days since I've gone out of the region, and obviously I'm back here in NCR drinking my coffee. Well, it's almost closing, so let's make this quick. So in the previous upload, I've fought Chaos Breaker Dragon V Premium format. So this is a V Premium Vanquisher deck profile, as said in the title. Of course, I run the VR. Only 3 copies though, since you're going to opt for more copies of this rather than the Vanquisher base. Since at the end of the turn that you've used the full Bronto skill, you, you actually reride a grade 3 from your soul as rest, although you don't gain an axle from reriding a grade 3 from soul, in which I'll always opt to reride Vanquisher, so I don't really need to have 4 of these in the deck. So its continuous is during a turn, if there's a total of 3 or more cards that have been bound, either player, uh, your front row gets 10,000 power. That's a continuous, so even if you call a new unit to one of your trigger circles due to one of your attack connect extensions, well, that's the term that I use for cards like Rock Climb, Barca, and Joggy Shot. So yeah, they still get the 10,000 power up as long as the COD is active. Axe skill is pretty much so good for the deck itself, the playstyle. So the skill is counter +1. Choose one of any player's front row rear guard and bind it. So it can be mine, it can be the opponent's. I always opt for opponents for a bit of control or front row wipe in order to have full use of Chunky Shot's skill. Then if your soul has grade 3, you and your opponent chooses a card from their hands and binds it. So if you're the Vanquisher, you're gonna probably go with something like Chatura or Chain Bolt. I don't know if you're running the other grade 1 that can be called from hand when bound. I mean, which can be called to rear when bound. I'm not running that. Back then I do, but now it's not necessary. So that's the skill of Vanquisher VR for base. We're moving to, I think I'm going first with the Jug Shot for the full Brontos. So Jug Shot here is already reprinted recently. It's kind of generic for its first auto skill. On attack, when it attacks a Vanguard, bind a card from your hand, choose one of your opponent's front row, rear guards, and bind it. And if your opponent's front row has no rear guards, you actually get to draw for the first skill. And at the end of the battle, it attack. That's the second skill. If your Vanguard is Dragonic Vanquisher, luckily, Full Bronto is also regarded as Dragonic Vanquisher while on the Vanguard circle. So the second skill still works with both of the VRs. You put this unit into your soul and you draw a card. Final grade 3, I run 4 full Brontos. So as already said, full Bronto has a con, which is the card is also regarded as the Dragonic Vanquisher while it's on the Vanguard circle. Second skill, auto. When it's placed on the Vanguard circle, all of your front row units gets 10,000 till the end of turn, which is basically imitating the continuous of the OG VR of Dragonic Vanquisher. Although it's only on place, so if you called a different unit from hand, well, called a different unit by skill when it's bound from hand, that new card in the field in the front row doesn't obtain 10,000 since this is not a con, this is an on-place skill auto. So the third skill is the most notable one. It's basically a superior right battle phase. When it's bound from hand during your turn, if your Vanguard is the Goric Vanquisher, either this or this, it works both ways. Discard a card from your hand, right discard a stand, and it gets drive -1 to the end of turn. During the turns and phase though, which is kind of great, you cannot get imaginative axle since you're gonna write a great thing from your hand, from soul as rest, which is I always opt for the Vanquisher. Yeah, you can only use the ability by a card, the same card name as this one, once a turn, so you can actually spam it, which is a great design for the card. It actually secures the card from getting banned in the future since it's literally limited to how to once a turn use. First, grade 2 in my list, 4 copies of Chatura. Chatura here is really great, double rare. When it's spawned from hand, this is the second skill. I'm going for the second skill first. During your turn, you may call this card to rear guard circle. If you call, this unit gets 10,000 at the end of turn. So, besides the con of the OG Vanquisher VR, it's already buffed up by being called when it's bound from hand. The first skill, the auto R skill, is an on hit to the opponent's Vanguard, so plus one draw card. Then choose one of your opponent's front row records and bind it. Which actually I'm gonna say sorry since the upload that I've uploaded recently. I think Chatra did hit, then I did not bind one of the opponent's rear guards, so I misplayed using the card. I'm not quite sure. I'm still blurry and kind of fatigued since the 3 days that I'm out of region, I didn't have enough sleep. We kept on playing Vanguard in 3 days. It's a Vanguard marathon. So yeah, we have 3 days worth of vlogish nature of Vanguard content, which is I'm gonna upload day 2 tomorrow or at least Tuesday. So next grade 2, I did say is Barca. Barca here is a great addition to the deck. It pulls out. Oh, I'm gonna explain the skill step by step. At the end of battle, this unit attack. If your Vanguard is greater, you solve +1, then bind a card from your hand. So another attack extender ish that enables an attack extension. Then draw a card. Your opponent chooses one of their back row rear guards and it moves to open front row rear guard circle. So it's not necessarily the same column from back to front. It can be from the back of the Vanguard to one of the open front row rear guard circle, either left or right, which is great addition since it enables you to kind of snipe out the rear guard at the back of the Vanguard. Final grade 2 in the build is of course Rock Climb. Another event of battle attack. You pay the cost of retiring this unit. You draw a card and bind a card from your hand. And then you choose one of your opponent's front row rear guards and bind it. So both of Chatura and Rock Climb binds opponent's rear guard. Barca pulls out one of the opponent's back row rear guards into the front. Which is kind of a great way of sniping out rear guards for a bit of control besides the multi-attack nature of play of Vanquisher V Premium. For Chain Bolt, besides being a target for hand binding and get to be called to a record circle, it's also a great grade 1 to ride in your grade 1 turn since it looks at the top 7. Then you can reveal up to one card with Vanquisher's card name from among the top the 7 cards that you've built in the top of your deck. Then you can add up to one card into your hand with the Vanquisher name. Then shuffle your deck. No discard cost or sold as a counterblast cost, which is a great skill in itself. Although limited to riding into the Vanguard circle. So I'm running set since there are times that I don't have the OG VR at my starting hand. Next, before I would go with that, I'm gonna go with the super staple Rising Phoenix. Attack extension from the drop. When opponent's rear guard is bound during your turn, you may call this card to the rear guard circle, and if you do this, it gets 3,000 power on the turn. drop zone skill. So always great card to have in any Narukami build that uses a bind uh, play, which is basically all the V premium Narukami. So 3 copies only, since I really don't see the point of running 4 at my build. Then I'm running a bit of something that I don't really see in other people's use. I don't really see other people use this. Anastasia. Anastasia here is a 15k shield as long as your opponent's bind zone has 3 or more cards, which is very easily attainable since you bind your opponent's front row at the same time if you have a grade 3 in your soul during the time that you've used the Vanquisher OGVR skill. Your opponent binds a card from their hand. So easily attainable, which makes this a 15k shield. At the same time, this can move into the Guardian Circle by paying its auto skill, that when your other unit is attacked, you can pay a cost of Soul Blast 1 and move this unit into the Guardian Circle. So it can act as a booster during your turn, and then in your opponent's turn, it can be a Guardian. So I run 3. Since I realized there's actually no card that utilizes the soul that much in this deck. There's only Barca and Chatra. There's no shortage since Chatra only soul blast when it hits. It rarely hits because they don't want me to plus a hand card. And the soul blast one of Barca doesn't really hurt since I don't know. There's no other cards that soul blast in this deck, so I might as well use the soul for a defensive purpose since the deck is already a bit on the offensive side of playstyle. Finally, we're going for the triggers. Cannot any starter, but I choose this one since it has a skill of adding a quick shield, although all starters are errated. Triggers, I run 4 perfect guard throw triggers. I run 8 crits because I've been playtesting the deck for almost a month or so before the video that's been uploaded in the channel before this one. I don't really see the optimum side of the deck on having more fronts, or at least running fronts, since there are times that you opt to have your triggers dance first before your Vanguard. So I've decided it's best to run 8 crits for my own build. Finally, heals. I run 2 of the G3 Heal Guardian. I think they call it Heal Guardian. Already know its skill. Most of the time I use just whenever Vanguards, it gets 10,000 at the end of turn if I did not try the Creator Gator at that moment in time during the card fight. I rarely use them -2 crits. And I also don't call this to the trigger circle. I don't think anyone opts to damage deny me. At the same time, I don't really need a counter blast. Most of the cards in the deck doesn't really use a counter blast. Only the OGV or Vanquisher uses a counter blast. So there's no point in damage denying a Vanquisher player. Then I run 2 of the 20k shield heals because I don't know. I really don't know. It's just a personal preference. You can run 4 of this if you want to secure a Heal Guardian to your hand. For me, this is a kind of a tech card, but I might go for 4 if the time comes that the meta is full of grade 2 rush or early game rush. So that's it for the list. Link in the description below for the card fight that has featured this deck, so you can see how I piloted this deck. But although the video is against a Link Joker, so you can see the full potential of the deck. So you can try the list in card area, I guess. Also link in the description for other stuff, my hostings, co-hostings, allied hostings, the Shopee that I've allied with. You can subscribe yet, share the video, leave a like, comment. You can suggest alteration to the build. You can criticize but make it constructive. Hit that bell button for notification of future uploads or live streams. Sometimes I do live streams, depends on the internet connection that I have. And yeah, see you in the next upload. Thank you.